So there we have the push squat jerk, or squat jerk, or the single arm squat jerk. Now this is what I'd like to say, the 3 types of pressing movements that you may have seen on the page or me doing, but this is on a single arm version. Now I would give the single arm version to everybody that's starting off, because when you're having 2 kettlebells, it can be often quite difficult to balance, and it's an additional weight for them to learn the technique. Whereas if you're doing single arm, you can work on each side, you can strengthen both sides individually, while then integrating in the future, learning how to use 2 kettlebells. Now, what's the difference between this and the push press? So the push press is where you're basically trying to drive the kettlebell up with both your legs and arms at the same time. So you're basically using legs and arms, so a bit of both, 50-50, or however much you want to distribute legs or arms. With the push jerk or the squat jerk single arm, we're trying to basically learn how to jump but get underneath the weight quicker. So that means you are going to be doing more leg work than actual arm work. So when we're literally trying to jump, we're trying to squat down to finish at the same time. So we're gonna, instead of our push jerk meeting at this point, our squat jerk will meet a little bit lower, that we can then finish off, if that makes sense. So just to give you an example. So what you'll see is, what we're trying to do is basically we're going to bend, explode, but then drop as quick as we can. So that means we can get underneath it, and we're using our legs more than our arms. Now, this is a timing issue that most people will have to do a lot of repetitions to make sure that we are dropping and locking at the same time, if that makes sense. So drop, lock, bang. 10% and lock. So we're trying to push but drop at the same time. So we're trying to push but drop, then push and then lock out at the same time. So it's something that you can start to, before you start doing the exercise, you can actually practice locking out and pushing at the same time. So when you then finish in that position, you want to stand up to make sure you complete the rep. So it's not a case of push, drop, and then no, we want to finish with the legs and then rack and repeat it again. Hopefully that gives you an understanding of the single arm push squat, or squat jerk, or push jerk. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a DM. If you're having I should highlight, if you're having really bad difficulty of locking out your arm, or you feel like the kettlebell is jumping up, I would look at doing sort of the thoracic exercises that I've got on my YouTube channel that help with getting your chest through and your arm above your head more naturally, which will help with improving that movement for you. Give that a go, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a DM.